Yeah, that would be my life right now. Welcome to the Subpar Summary, featuring Urgot, the Dreadnought.
No strength until you are broken.
This is Urgot, a combination of everyone's favorite thing to fight top lane. A marksman and a tank. It's almost like fighting an actual tank, if that tank is able to fire out 3 rounds per second. I mean, Jesus, this guy attacks fast. Like, look at this! What the hell is that? Urgot is a ranged bruiser who looks like someone took Bane from Batman and you thought, you know, let's add some robot crab gun to that. Wouldn't that be cool? However, I like to think of it as he's Doc Ock, but instead of giving him 4 more arms, he gave himself 4 more legs. They removed his human ones, and they gave himself 2 more robot legs, and gave each of those legs a gun. That, my friends, is Urgot's passive, Echoing Flames. Each of Urgot's 6 legs has an additional shot in it that does extra damage and spread and is indicated by the red circle below him. This passive makes dueling and poking in lane so easy. It also does max health damage, meaning that if you're against a tank or a DPS, you will usually out-damage them early. This deals even more damage when you consider that it's combined with Urgot's bread and butter move, his W, Purge. This ability is what makes Urgot, Urgot. He sacrifices some move speed to give himself 3 auto attacks per second as well as ghosting him. This ability just is what you use for damage the entire game, and it never stops being good. His W is very unique as far as all abilities in the game go, whereas most abilities when you level them up, they get an increased mana cost but increased damage and lower cooldown. With Urgot's W, you get increased damage, lower mana cost, and lower cooldown to where a point when it's maxed out is completely free and turns into a toggle ability. Having it as a toggle makes it so easy to take wards and objectives. I mean, look how fast this gets done. Give it a minute. Almost there. See, look at that. And again, combining this with your passive just does so much damage. This ability is so important that its other abilities are built around it, starting with his Q, Corrosive Charge. Urgot fires out a skill shot that does, well, not that much. But the main reason you use this ability is for the slow. It can slow up to 65%, making it a really good engage tool, and also really easy to catch some people out for a gank. But in all honesty, it's his worst ability. It's the one that you want to max last, and it's not even his best engage tool. That honor goes to his E, Disdain. Urgot dashes forward, gaining a shield based on his bonus AD. If he's able to hit an enemy champion, he flings them over and stuns them. This is the ability that makes Urgot such a pain to deal with in lane. You can't engage on him or he'll just fling you over and then shoot you with his passive while his W's up, dealing almost your entire health bar at level 3. It's overall just the perfect E. It's a dash, it's a shield, and it's CC all in one ability, and it's on the fucking tank. Getting hit by this ability in a team fight is almost a death sentence for any squishy because it puts you right in the enemy's backline. It's also just a very versatile ability. You can use it with your flash to try and gain some extra distance. Or if you time it right, you can still attack while CC'd. Oh, that was a lot of information. I should probably say something funny. Now, of course, Urgot has his weaknesses, every champion does. Any champion who's able to take advantage of his low mobility, or who's able to damage him while being outside of his W range, will usually kill him. Also, his W can only target one person at a time, so fighting multiple people at the same time will usually end in your demise. But there is one way you can deal with fighting multiple people at a time, and that's by using my favorite ability on Urgot, his ult, Fear Beyond Death. Urgot fires a very long-range projectile, slowing the person hit by 75%. If you get the person hit down to 25% of their health before the duration is over, you can recast it to drag them in, grind them to dust, and instantly kill them. This ability allows you to win pretty much any duel in lane, even if you're behind. It's just such a long range ability, cuts their health down by 25%, so it's really good for dealing with enemies who can heal. God, the best feeling about this character is when someone tries to fight you, then they run away, and you take away any hope they had of escaping just by hitting them with this ability. Urgot's ult is one of, if not the most violent move in this game. It grinds them to mush right in front of everyone. It's such a brutal move that it fears any enemy around you. That fear is your ticket for dealing with multiple people at a time. Having one just run away from you after killing another lets it easily 2v1 and sometimes even 3 or 4v1. You can also combo it with your E to give you a point-blank hit, letting you win any duel easily. Or, if you're like me, you can use it to take kills from other people. I deserve that. I earned it. So combining them all together, you E them, you Q them to slow them, you hit them with your ult to slow them even more, while whittling them down with your W to eventually recast your ult and kill them. Behold my secret move, the walk in a circle technique! I guess you could say it's a roundabout way of killing them. And their chances of escaping are just like a circle. Pointless. Are these jokes funny? I guess we'll see. Get it? Because the wheel is round. The last thing I want to go over is Urgot's Eternals. They are Commanding Throw, Champion 2 with your E. Into the Grinder, Champions killed with the recast of your R. Shell or High Water, Champion 2 with consecutive shots of your passive. 12 Hours, damage to champions with W. Splash damage, takedowns on champions with your Q. And Witness the Horror, champions feared with the R. They're all pretty easy to get, and you will get them just by playing the game. Nothing you really have to go out of your way to try and do. Urgot's a tanky ranged top laner who's able to stay pretty strong throughout the entire game. His low mobility is his greatest weakness, but with his abilities and usually help from your team, you're able to just ignore it. He stays relevant through most of the game, but the strongest part is your early game in the lane, because usually any top laner against you will either have to outpoke you or try and duel you 1v1, which will usually not end well for the other. You can play him as a frontline or a backline, and he's one of the easiest characters to farm with his W. All of this combined that he's really fun to play. Like, I've never gotten bored of him ever since I started picking him up. With all that being said, Urgot really is an all-rounder.